Hey guys, welcome back to the Hat House. This week is all about two things. The first one is our garage sale that we're going to be having. We're going to go through setting up a little bit and digging out some cool items that we'll have in our garage sale, and a little twist we're going to do on the garage sale. You want to hear about that. And then the second is, of course, sales, all the sales that we've had. And I go on quite a rant about sports hats. Are they overblown? Is the market just way out of whack? Because the prices that we get and the prices that we have to pay for sports hats just doesn't seem right. And I kind of go off on a tangent and a little bit of discussion about sports hats and are they even worth flipping right now? So let's get out to the garage and let's get this garage sale sorted out.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hat House. Going to be a really busy week this week. We're going to have our garage sale on Friday and Saturday. We have a lot of stuff. My garage is pretty packed out right now, and we got a lot of stuff that we got to get through. There's a lot of stuff that we just haven't been able to get to. I got a lot of 200 hats right here that I haven't been able to get to. Another lot of 100 hats right here. We have all of our lotted up hats that are in these boxes that we're still waiting to sell. We got all of our packages that need to go out on Monday morning right here. These are hat lots down here that we need to lot up and make lots out of. I might wait right now and see if I can sell some at the garage sale. So use some of those hats for that. And then just empty boxes. We did a lot of shipping last night. And the garage is just not in the shape that I really want it to be. So we're going to have a sale, try to get rid of a bunch of stuff. We got just totes of other hats and other clothing. Shoes, all sorts of stuff. We're gonna do a garage sale Friday, but we're also gonna do whatnot on Friday and Saturday as well. I think we'll have like the busy part of the morning, like usually 8 to 10 is usually when the garage sale does best, and then when that kind of dies down a little bit at 10, I think I'm gonna go on whatnot. I've got a bunch of hats that I can sell. I got a bunch of wallets that I can sell. We got some shoes if they don't sell in the morning. And just a bunch of stuff that we can just run on whatnot too to try to get rid of it. And so let's see if we can get this place cleaned up this week and have a great garage sale this weekend. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do to get ready for this garage sale is we're gonna clean up this little area right here. It's gonna make us enough room in here so we can put together our, what is that?
A clothesline kind of
Clothes hanger thing?
rack.
Metal rack. It's pretty cool. We got it on Amazon. I'll put it together and show you what it is. And if they still carry it, I'll put the link to it in the description if you want to check it out. It really folds up really nice. I'll kind of show you how it starts and then how it finishes. But it's a really neat little clothes hanger thing that you can kind of store and put away and then pop it out whenever you need it for a garage sale or something else to dry your clothes. Okay, this is the little rack. It really keeps folded up really nice and neat. I just put some zip ties on it to keep it together. When I'm not using it, I'll unzip tie it and then it'll just fold out. This folds out like this. This will fold out like that. Usually I have Mary helping me, but she's running the camera right now. So it looks a little harder than it is. Whoa. All right, and then all these little things just kind of lock in here. Really cool clothes rack. Expands out pretty big, holds quite a few clothes in it. And then this little crossbar just goes down in here for stabilization. It kind of locks in right there. So now we can just take this, we'll put all of our clothes on here, and we'll have a nice little, it's an easy way to shop too. I think this was like $50 on Amazon. It makes it easier to shop too when customers come into your garage sale. And instead of just hanging them on the fence or throwing them on the ground, it's always just a little bit better to sell clothes. All right, guys, we got the rack loaded up right here. We got some pretty cool items on it. I like to put some hidden gems in my yard sale too. There's some pretty cool jackets that we had. Somebody will definitely find a really good deal.
Yeah, we have a new with tags Columbia jacket. It is a larger size, I think it's a 4X, but new with tags, can't beat that. And then we also have another Columbia. It's in really good condition. It's not new, but it's in excellent condition.
Yeah, and there's just like scattered stuff like that in the racks. We like to leave some good things in there so people know that we have a pretty good yard sale and they can come back next time as well. But Mary also been digging in the closet in our garage and found some other cool items over here too. Yeah, she dug in the garage and we've come up with a few good things here.
Yeah, we bought these, it's probably been over a year ago, but they're Toomey travel bags. I think they're like from the airlines that they give you, but we have a whole tote of those that we're going to sell, I think for about $5 a piece. Then we have some shoes, just kind of like the shoes that our boys have worn, but we're going to get rid of those. And I don't know if we've ever shown you guys like the pins that Steven had made. They're really neat. They're college, universities, and baseball teams, football teams. They're really, really good quality, but we're going to try to sell some of those. And then we also have some golf club covers that we've had for probably a couple of years now. And we've sold quite a bit of them, and then they just kind of fizzled out. So we have a few of them left over, and we're going to try to get rid of them. We also have a tote full of some wallets. We do list wallets on eBay, but these are the ones that we didn't really feel like we wanted to put on eBay. So we're going to try to get rid of those. And then we also have some car parts. These are tire
caps.
Tire valve caps. Yeah.
A bunch of those. We got like, look, these have these little cool like Tesla logos on them, and just all sorts of different cool ones. And I have some of these too. I got to dig these out. So a lot of things that I've sold in the past, I might just have a few of each one of them left over, and then we're kind of going to go through that in the garage sale. And of course we have to have some hats, right?
Yes, we also have some hats. You'll kind of notice it's the hats that we usually lot up, but we're going to try to just sell them at the yard sale and see if we can get rid of quite a few of them.
Yeah, those camel ones are pretty cool though.
Yeah, the camel ones we do sell in the store. We have quite a few of them. But we've noticed that a couple of them have like little spots here and there on them, so we're going to try to get rid of them at the yard sale because I mean they are really neat and they're vintage. So
okay, that's the garage sale update preparation. I think we got some cool things to have in the yard sale. We may have some storms Friday morning. That may dampen it a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. Like Mary said, we're going to do Whatnot too. So if it's raining, we'll just stay inside here and we'll run some things on Whatnot. See if anybody wants this stuff for cheap. I think we're going to run it for $2 on Whatnot, almost everything. A lot of the stuff, if you're actually here, will be $1. But we'll let you know how it goes. Check us out on Whatnot if you can. But let's get to what actually sold this week in the Hat House, because there are some great items that are going out. And it's not all sports hats. And I go on a little bit of rant about sports hats, and maybe it's too much, but there's some really cool stuff out there and some really cool sales. And I know you guys have found some cool things. Let me know what they are. Somebody just, I think Base Card Collector just picked up a melon hat after watching us. Ran across a melon hat. I'm sure he's going to sell that for a lot of money. So let us know out there what your best finds have been. I know garage sale season is heating up, and you can find some good things. And I think there's some good things in here people could find too if they swing by our garage sale. All right, guys, we got some good hats going out this morning. Some really good, I'll call them bangers. I mean, not everything out there is a shark tooth, a swirl, or a Dipsy Doo hat that is just awesome and the best hat you've ever seen. There are a lot of hats out there that sell for $30, $40, $50, and that's where you need to be, because getting splash and shark tooth just does not happen that often. And if somebody has one, they know they have it, and you're not going to get it for cheap most of the time. Now, if you head out to the garage sale, maybe you get lucky this weekend and you find a shark tooth, great. But selling hats every single day, I think there are a lot of hats that fly under the radar, and there's some of them in here, especially these hunting hats that I want to show you that sold really well. First up, a nice combined order. We had an Austin, Texas hat, just a little bit spell it Austin, but they paired it with this Patagonia that went for $20. I always ask a little more than I do for those trucker mesh backs on these kind of dad hats. So $20 on this one. And how much did the Austin hat go for? $10. So $30 sale on these two hats right here. And then next up, I'm going to call it a banger. It's not a shark tooth. It's not a splash. It's not, but it's an awesome vintage hat right here. Vintage New Era fitted. It was still a pretty good size, 7 1/4, $45 on this hat right here. It was in awesome shape. So really great hat for $45. I will take it. Next up, this is a really cool Nike SB hat, kind of pretty much red, white, and blue. The white logo, red and blue bill. $30 on this because I kept a price up because I really love the colorway and I knew someone else would too. Really great sale. Nike SB stuff always sells within a week, always over $20. And if you get really cool ones, you want to ask 30 or 40. All right, and this is my first hunting banger right here. $45, or was it 50?
It was $50.
$50 on this hat right here. I called it a trapper hat. It was vintage. This P is Paramount. It's P is for Paramount Hats. Vintage hat brand. Insulated. A nice winter hunting hat for $50. Guys, if you have them, list them. And if they're in awesome condition like this, ask $50. I mean, if this was Gore-Tex, maybe ask $70 or $80. This is an awesome vintage hat right here. Definitely worth $50 to someone. Really great shape too. Next up, a lot of Hui hats don't go for a whole lot, but this one was really cool. It said Cactus Ropes, Texas. It was Hui, excellent condition, basically like new. So I got $25 for mine, had a nice big patch on it. A lot of those Hui snapbacks are like $10, but just know when you have a cooler one with a cool patch on it, to keep it priced up, almost like new, $25. And then next up, it's going to test my soccer knowledge. I'm pretty sure Tottenham Hotspurs soccer hat right here, $22 on this one. It was originally priced at $20.70, so I think I got the best end of the deal on that. But of course, soccer hats do really well. Basically, this one was brand new, still had the stickers on it. Nice sale, $22. Next up, a really great New York Yankees hat, and one you wouldn't have thought would be a $60 hat. But I did a little bit of research, found out what this is. They did kind of this collaboration in 2010 with this New Era on this kind of lightweight New York Yankees hat. I couldn't really find anything else out there that was even like this in a collab with New Era. I think there was like one hat and it sold for like $30 or $40. But so it was Yankees and it was this different collab, $60 for it. And I got it because it's a really cool hat. So I hope they really love it. Really, and you just don't have many lightweight Yankee MLB type hats like this. And so I knew that it was different and I knew that somebody would love it. So $60. Next up, this nice Illinois. I still have a few of these left. Size 7 3/4, went out for $22. These were like brand new. Taking a little lower. Usually they sell between $25 and $30. But since I have several of them, I'm taking kind of offers anything over $20 right now on these. Just to keep them moving and get people with some good deals and a good hat. Next up, sometimes you swing and you miss. I really thought this lacrosse hat, I think I paid up for it, about $10 for it, and it sold for $10. But I really thought somebody would really like this Nike lacrosse hat. I had it for probably 6 months. Finally got an offer on it for $10. So I took it, and you just never know. Sometimes lacrosse stuff does really well. I thought this hat would do really well, but I guess they just didn't like that colorway maybe. Maybe lacrosse players just don't really care for a nice, cool script hat. Next up, this Nike Town Portland. These are kind of all over the place too. I had it for a while. I've sold the same hat for $50 before. And then different towns sometimes go for more or less. Sometimes it just, I don't know. If anybody understands the Nike Town city market, let me know why sometimes they sell. I just don't think it's that hot of a seller. And there's not that many out there either. So If you have it priced up and somebody really wants it, then they'll pay for it. But sometimes they just get marked down because they sit so long. So, but still really cool hat, really cool Nike hat for 25 bucks. I would have paid up for it if it had my city on it. Next up, another, I'll call it a banger. Anything $30 or more that you're paying $1 or $2 or $5 for, I'll call it a banger because that's a really good sales price on a hat. This was just a vintage, and this had the alternate Minnesota Seattle Mariners logo on it. I always put Trident in the logo in the description as well when I'm describing this hat. It was a vintage Logo 7 made in Taiwan. Really cool strap back Seattle Mariners hat, $30 on this, and a different colorway again and a different logo. So that all those things help. All right, Sunday night, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. And shame on you guys. We still sold a ton of hats this weekend on Mother's Day. Hopefully you got your mom a hat. The first one going out, this Miami Marlins hat right here, $25 on this black with the cool colorway. We know the awesome colors do better. $25 on this Flex Fit, really great price. And next up, I bring this one up because it sold super fast for full price. Wild Turkey dad hat. Had the Wild Turkey hit on the back. It was kind of older on this headshot. This could be early 2000s, maybe 90s. Really cool Wild Turkey hat. $19, sold super fast. Next up, this steel hat went out for $20. This was kind of newer. It was on this newer tag with the full foam on it. If you have the older ones, price them up more than this. This was a newer one. $20 on it though. Still a pretty good price for a big patch hat, modern. Next up, my flat caps are still selling. Got some in and they are flying out of here. Really nice leather, Gorin Brothers, really well made. $25 on this one. Maybe I could have waited for a little bit more, but this one was super nice. And I took the $25 offer. Gorin Brothers makes some awesome flat caps. This one was great. Next up, this will be the second time I've sold this one. This time it went out for $48. It's a really beautiful Chevy Gold Star Dealers white zip back vintage corduroy on this Cali head. Really nice hat. The last person said it didn't fit them right. They didn't like how it fit. But hopefully the next person really likes how it fits because it's an awesome hat. Check that out. Nice rope corduroy. Really cool hat for 48 bucks. Next up, this Minnesota Timberwolves. It sold twice too, but the first time they asked to cancel it because their brother didn't like it or something like that. Then I relisted it and it sold again in about 2 hours again. This one was kind of unstructured, so it was a little bit different new era type of hat, but really cool Minnesota Timberwolves. And it went out for $28. And next up, this Boston Red Sox. Again, black on black does awesome. $23 for this one. Sold super quick, 7 3/8 fitted, black on black logo. And the KVU stuff is still selling really well. $24 on this one. Had the mesh on the sides. Really cool KVU hat right here. They can do pretty well. The canvas ones seem to not go for as much. These like lightweight nylon ones seem to go for a little bit more. 25 bucks. And I sold my other McLaurin hat. This one went for $35 on this one. Again, maybe I could have waited for $5 or $10 more, but I took the $35 offer. And they got a really cool hat right here, McLaurin snapback. These hats sell super fast. And another nice combined order. These keep really saving our weekends, making for really good weekends. 12 hats right here. For this went out for around $90 on this with the shipping on there. They got some really cool hats. A nice Peterbilt hat right here. Pretty cool Peterbilt hat. It's a nice corduroy hat, Panama City Beach, and just a lot of older kind of trucker hats. Budweiser, King of Beer hat right there. So some really cool hats going out for $90 combined shipping. I can't beat that. And this one I point out just because I will caution you on buying these. They look really cool. This one only sold for $12. Brickyard 400 inaugural race. So really cool vintage hat right here, but only $12. There just seems to be a lot of this out there. So especially on these, that's why I don't really care for NASCAR. One, I don't know it that well, probably good enough to know that this one should have been worth more or less, but I just don't get as good a price usually, even on the really cool vintage ones like this. Next up, really nice college Nike hats, over $20 all the time. $26 on this one right here. Just a nice lightweight Legacy 91. Had the ducks kind of on the side right here. Had a really cool swoosh. All that made it an awesome Nike hat with the Oregon Ducks, $26. Next up, a nice golf hat went out for $26 as well. Just a regular dad hat. Was pretty much new. Still had the cardboard in it on the head. And must have been a really good course. I looked it up. And then I always look for the ones that have really nice courses. They look like really rich people play there, and I charge them more for their hats. This was a Country Club of Salisbury, Donald Ross. Next up, Mets stuff, still doing really well. 7 3/8 went out for $20 on this one. Really good condition, still pretty crispy for it being about a 10-year-old hat. Really nice on-field, new era, 20 bucks. And my other BMW hat went out for $38 as well. I had two really cool vintage BMWs. They both went around the $40 mark. This one was in not as great a shape, but it had all these really cool pins on here to go with it as well. So really cool BMW vintage, mid-80s probably. It was on, this Union Made tag. So probably mid-80s on this hat right here. Really pretty good condition for being that old. Really cool BMW hat. Next up was this New York Yankees. It was green, awesome colorway. And it was basically like new. It was still really crispy. The problem with it was it had this JT embroidery on the side. It wasn't very big, but whenever I get a decent offer on anything that's been custom embroidered with names or whatnot on it, I usually take it. So 18 bucks on this. Without that embroidery, I would have waited for 25 or 30. Next up, this is one of my secret weapons that I'm always looking forward to buy. People just pass over this type of Nike hat all the time, thinking it's only like a $10 Nike hat, but I got $25 for this one, and we'll continue to get about that price for these hats. This kind of mesh jersey material on this black kind of Y2K Nike tag right here, $25 on this, and regularly get that or more on these nice Nike hats. Next up, really cool Oklahoma Sooners hat. I think it went out for around $28. It was new with the tags, but what I want to show you on this one was this OHT Operation Hat Trick. Always does awesome on collegiate stuff. It's kind of these brothers. It's kind of, it gives back to the veterans, Navy SEALs. Operation Hat Trick always does awesome. Whenever you see this little side patch or this logo on anything, you can usually ask a little bit more for it. They're usually on cooler hats too, so it makes sense. They go for a little more. Next up, I was talking bad about NASCAR, but I had another one that was like new old stock, dead stock basically. Nice little Jeff Gordon piece, $20 right here on this one. Sold it and flipped it pretty quick. I think I got it for whatnot for like $5 or $6. So quick, easy, $15. Next is another one I usually try to grab that people don't always look for. $35 on this. It was Gore-Tex. People kind of know to look for that, but it was a vintage Browning orange camo. $35 on this hat right here. A lot of people, I mean, you can flip these on eBay too. I see them all the time for like $10 to $15 for these vintage hunting hats. And if somebody finds one they really like or they used to have when they lost it, man, they will pay $30 to $40, $50 sometimes to replace their hunting hat. So keep a lookout for these. Tampa Bay Lightning, I tell you, the Fanatics stuff still is over $20 when it's new. Nice snapback Fanatics. Tampa Bay Lightning sells pretty good too. Really nice hockey hat right here. All right, this one sold really fast. For like $23, it was a new era all-star game. Colorado Rockies. I was kind of surprised, but I think it helped that it was kind of the golf style of hat. So it sits a little higher. It's kind of like an A-frame hat. This all-star game put on the golf style hat went really well. Sold super fast for 23 bucks. Next up, we got some really cool Jordan stuff in this past week. Oklahoma Sooners, Jordan, Jumpman. Mary picked these up. Got quite a few of them in, so really excited for that. This one went for $28. Had the sticker price of $30, so I am happy with that. Next up, we got a vintage New York Yankees. It also went out for $28 on this one. Pretty decent size, 7 1/4 wool, like Y2K, early 2000s, New York Yankees, fitted hat, 28 bucks. And the flat caps we listed are still doing awesome. $38 on this one. Hannah hats, really nice, well made, made in Ireland. Kind of I described it as a patchwork flat cap. Really cool wool hat right here. $40, really good quality. And next up, a really nice PGA Southern Hills 2022. It's right down the road from us, so I pick these up from time to time, get pretty good prices on them. Golf stuff is still doing really hot. $20 on this 47 brand PGA Tour hat. And then my Nike Illinois hats are still doing awesome. Great deal I got on Whatnot. $31 on this one. Awesome size, 7.5. Sometimes I take a $22 offer. Sometimes they just sell, and you make a little extra. Great sell. Next up, another good combined order, and just kind of taking the best offer on this. Had this Bengals hat forever. Took $10 on it. And then they ended up going through the store and buying this size 7.5 Worcester Woo socks. Still got a few of these left, and they're still doing pretty good. Great combined order, $30-ish. Next up was this AFL Carlton Blues. Really, it's kind of a Australian football league. That's why I always pick this kind of stuff up. This went for $26. It was on, if I have to be honest, a cheap hat, but it was tagged as AFL right here. Kind of a cheap strap back hat, but it was really cool. Had a really cool logo on it, and you just don't come across that much AFL stuff. And my weekly Cleveland Indians Chief Wahoo sale, $20 on this one, was just on this genuine merchandise tag right here. Probably made by like TEI or, no, this was Twins Enterprise, so just a twill. I probably should have shaped this one up a little bit. Maybe I'd have got $30 for it, but I'm all right with 20. All right, guys, some pretty good hats going out in this bunch, and I'm going to continue to highlight things that are not sports hats, because sports hats is highly competitive. Everybody is going for them, and there's a lot of good hats out there like this. I'll probably even say it wrong, but it's Ciele, C-I-E-L-E, $25 on this running hat right here. Really cool 5-panel hat, lightweight, $25 plus shipping. I mean, there's a lot of sports hats. That's what they go for. You know, even vintage sports hats, just a regular twill that everybody pays $10 to $15 for to try to flip it, and then it only goes for $25 when you can pick up something like this for $2 or $3 and then flip it for $25. That's where the margins are. The sports hats margins are really getting lower and lower every day. There's so much competition out there, and people are buying things for $40 or $50, trying to sell them for $60 or $70. It just doesn't make sense. But rant over. Find other things besides sports hats. They're still awesome, but stop paying up too much, because I don't see the sales prices that good right now, especially when you're out of season. I know I'm going on and on. Baseball is going to get pretty good sales price right now because it's in season. College and football, not going to be that great a sales price right now. Now, when the season heats up in 2 or 3 months, the prices will come up a little bit. But there's other hats out there. That's all I'm saying. $25. Next up was a really good one for $28. This was Texas and Southwest Cattle Raisers Association. Little rope hat here. It was on the Youngin tag, so vintage, probably 90s hat right here. Really great shape. $28 on it. Really nice farm hat. And next up, this one sold immediately. Sourced it off Whatnot for $10. Really appreciate Toe Flips Vintage. If he's out there, he's trying to get to his 1,000 sales on Whatnot. So if you can, go by and swing by and buy something from him. He was almost there last night. Hope he got there. But he sold me this hat for $10. I flipped it for $59 in about 15 minutes on eBay. And I might have still been priced a little low. But it did have some wear around the bottom here where the reflective material was. A little yellowing on the side. Sometimes if you get these in awesome condition, you're talking about a $100 hat right here. I was happy with $59 after spending $10 and making that in the first day that I listed it. A lot of times these will say, this is the black tag version. There's also like a tailwind version. This had just do it on the side. So kind of mid Y2K running hat. These are awesome. And $10. Nobody else bid against me. Nobody. And there was several people in there. So this is what I'm talking about. Another, if this would have been a hat, a sports hat that would sold for $60, there would have been 10 people bidding on it up to $35 or $40, but I got it for 10. And next up, just know when you have a cool logo. This was, who was this, Mary? Tifton or Tufton or? Tufts. Elephants. Cool logo. $20 on this one, and they did combine it. This was the Tifton hat right here. They happened to pick up in my store. This probably have probably never sold on its own, but they combined these two for about $30. This one went for like 20. This one went for like 7 or 8 maybe. But kind of got lucky selling this hat because I had another cool hat to go with it. Next up was this Sitka gear. Went for $24. Super fast, blaze orange. The hunting stuff is still selling even in May. So Sitka gear makes pretty cool stuff. And I usually price their hats up to begin with because they're sometimes kind of hard to get in the exact color that you might like. Next up was a really cool Nike hat. This sold for $20. Maybe I could have got more. It was on the black tag, so it was older. Had a little yellowing in it, but was really cool. Orange, kind of looked like the sun almost. Really cool Nike hat right here, 20 bucks. Cat hats, seems like we talk about these all the time. $30 on this one. It didn't come with foam originally, but had a cool patch and denim. $30. Was in okay condition. Yeah, the bill was good. Snaps were good. 30 bucks. Next up, I bring this one up because it's a pretty cool hat. And I've been seeing them more and more out there. Lurking Class, $18 on this one. Pretty clean condition. Had a little bit of wear right here, but really nice on the outside. Pretty cool little like Grim Reaper patch on it. These hats have been selling pretty regularly now for 18 bucks. Next up, Cleveland Cavaliers hat right here. Really cool hat. I mean, from the 90s. Maybe if I would have steamed it and shaped it up a little bit, I would have got a little bit more for it. But still, I thought this hat would be a $30, $40 hat. I only got $15 for it. And no telling what people paid. All right, I'm done. I won't keep harping on it. But I only got $15 for a super cool Cavs hat. Had it forever. Next up, another sale on my 4th of July hats. I think they're going to keep going pretty good. This one was size 8, so it was a little bigger. So I got a little bit less for it. $35. I did source these, if y'all remember, on our Branson vacation. There was a nice little shop there in Branson that had a bunch of sports stuff and hats on sale. How much were they? $8?
Something like that.
$8, I think. And so we bought out a bunch of hats there, and this was one of them. Really cool. And next up was one of the coolest hats that I found in our Goodwill when we kind of bought the huge lots of bins of Goodwill hats and we sorted them all out. You can check that video out if you want to. But this was one of the coolest ones. Went out for $20. Vintage Chester Cheetah Frito-Lay hat right here. Really cool. I also have a polo hat that I got out of there. I'm waiting for it to sell, but it's priced around $100. But found some cool hats like this. Haven't got to talk about a lot of them yet. I just got done listing most of those, so surely we'll see some more selling soon.